What's going on, adventurers? Hope everyone is well, and I know you all are super hyped for Season 10. Or, more specifically, super hyped just to hear about Season 10. There still has been no official word from the dev team yet, but there has been some Discord commentary, and premier New World content creator Jay Oddity has put out a new video about why he now believes that Season 10 will actually be free. To be clear, I have the utmost respect for Jay and believe he is one of the most underrated New World creators out there, along with BoSense and Duke Sloth. So here's a snip from Jay's video.
Now a believer that it's actually going to be a huge free update, and I'm going to show you and explain why. So there's a lot to talk about, but let's get the important bit out of the way. Why I think it's going to be free. So I've got the streamer mode on, so let me just enable that or disable that. I guess that's the normal way of saying that. New World K is KE, Dev KE, KE Kishiznik. I'm not 100% sure you say your last name.
I do want to take a second out to point out that Katie's last name is Kaczynski, like Mike Wachowski, but with only one I, the letter, and two I's, the organs.
And I guess actually initially this relates to when you're going to get news. It says, no, it's along our normal timelines for a season update. Hence, the question is, why are the comms so late? And they say the comms are going to be a little bit different, but the timing is about normal. Now, you might be wondering what that timing is. That timing typically is actually around about 3 weeks before the season. I think season 9 was 3 weeks before, season 8 was 3 weeks before. If we go with the new release date of being October 14th, because that's what the in-game season is actually suggesting, then that would put it as around about September 23rd. However, I think it might actually be around about the 16th or the week commencing the 15th.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I appreciate Jay doing the math on this. It's important to note that the official comms put Season 9 ending on October 6th. But there are additional comments in the Discord indicating that will probably be changing.
The reason for that is that there's some of the content creators, and I'm not going to get them in trouble, but perhaps they have a box to open on the 21st. By the way, I have no box. They've not contacted me, so I'm not breaking any NDA or anything like that.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't have a box either. I'm not even sure how someone gets a box. Probably based strictly on subscriber numbers. So, if you like this video and you want more New World content, smash that subscribe button. It's free. And if you like the video, smash the like button, because that also helps the algorithm. Maybe this way, next year, I can get a box too.
Sad to miss out, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, that's happening on the 23rd, so I'm a believer of the week commencing the 15th. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off the point. The reason why I think it's free is because somebody then says this. So, Season 10 is an expansion like Rise of the Angry Earth, or more like Brimstone Sands update. And there's two reactions, both from KE. One of them which is literally a desert, and another one which is a horse, or horse racing. Now you might be like, Jay, that says absolutely nothing, what are you doing? But I believe that the desert obviously relates to Brimstone Sands, and the racing you might think is a little bit of a spanner in the works, but not really, because there's some data mines suggesting that we're going to be getting a new mount, the Fox. There's also another data mine of the Grunt, but I'm sort of assuming that might not be real, or if it is real, maybe we get both, I'm not sure. But to me, that sounds like she's not confirming, let's be honest. There's enough like room for, hey, this doesn't mean anything. But to me, that very much sounds like it's a Brimstone level update. It's a Brimstone update as opposed to a Rise of the Angry Earth update. I don't know what she would have put to suggest it would have been a Rise of the Angry Earth update. I don't know what would have been out there. Maybe like a tree or something. But that for me is kind of like the first real indication that it might be free on an official level.
Okay, now I'm going to be honest. This is where Jay really goes smoking emoji on the grassy knoll. Those two emoji can mean a number of things. I do agree that the desert most likely is a reference to Brimstone, but to me, it's Brimstone the territory, not Brimstone the update. I don't even think the update was really originally called the Brimstone update. I think that's just what we called it in game. The horse to me is about mounts, but it's not about a fox mount. Because honestly, if Katie was referencing the fox mount, then why not just use a fox? I think if anything, This is referencing the rise of the Angry Earth expansion when mounts were introduced. And just a friendly reminder, this was a paid expansion. So is it new mounts incoming that would probably be paid anyway? Or is it referencing the expansion, which was a paid DLC, where mounts were introduced? Or is the only way into the new zone on a mount, meaning that all the holdouts on PC who still haven't ponied up for the Angry Earth expansion will need to do so?
I have seen some of the content creators suggest that it would be free, and maybe they are in the know and maybe they're not. But this is the first like official kind of like, okay, maybe it actually is free. And then somebody would be like, well, of course it's free. It doesn't mention expansion on the roadmap. It just says season 10. There's a lot of reasons to think it might be free, a lot of reasons to think it might be paid. I've said before, whatever you thought, you weren't wrong in thinking that. We just didn't actually have any real evidence either way. The reason for it being paid is simply they want money and they want the money from it being paid. The reason for it being free is perhaps a little bit more complex.
Now, I really enjoy Jay and his content. I appreciate his viewpoints and what he brings to the community, but I will have to respectfully disagree with him, and I think that this expansion will be paid. If you simply look at the pattern, the PC crowd where the game originally launched is due for a paid DLC update. If the rumors of going to level 70, a gear score jump to 800, Tradeskills going to 300, a brand new zone, and presumably the resumption of the MSQ in that zone, plus a reworked Reekwater, well, I don't see how they are packing all of that into a free update. Now, originally, I did think that the expansion will be priced at around $30 to $40. But honestly, now I am thinking that they may just make it $20, along the same lines of a season pass. Why? Because the inclusion of the PlayStation Plus population has been invigorating for the game. Player numbers this past summer were almost triple on PC from what they were the year before, and that's without the console players. Making this DLC cheaper would lower the barrier for those players who can buy DLCs for games in the PlayStation Plus program. The other option is to make the DLC part of the PlayStation Plus pass, but then I'm sure the PC players and Xbox players will definitely roar disapproval. Or that could be the gateway to New World Eternum entering Game Pass for Xbox and PC. And honestly, I think this is another reason why they've changed their communication strategy. This way, by treating this like a seasonal update as opposed to an actual expansion with months headway, there is less of a window for the players to band together and march on the towns with torches and pitchforks. The fallout from the initial Eternum announcement probably caused some PTSD on the dev team, and honestly, it neither surprises me nor do I blame them. I think it's important for everyone to understand that Amazon Game Studio is a subsidiary of Amazon. They need to be generating revenue and have a positive bottom line. New World undoubtedly is carrying a burden, as it is really the only AGS-developed game out there. While they do have titles that they are the publisher for, such as Lost Ark and Throne and Liberty, there isn't much out there that is developed from their game studio. They do have the closed alpha of March of Giants going on, but that's going to be free to play to begin with, and is probably at least still a year away from being published. As for the Lord of the Rings MMO, we're probably even longer away for even an announcement, let alone gameplay and release. I think that MMO is probably still 3 to 5 years out. So that pretty much sums up the current state of things. I would have hoped for an announcement already, but that clearly didn't happen. I can remain hopeful for this upcoming week, but I don't know why they would want to compete with Apple's new iPhone announcement. But we'll look forward for the week of September 15th for hopefully some communication from the dev team regarding Season 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Jay right with his 2 smoking emojis on the grassy knoll? Or has he been huffing the copium a little too hard? Thanks for watching. And if you want to help me get a box, I'd appreciate if you smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, the thumbs up. It makes the world of difference for the channel and for me. Regardless of what happens, no matter when the announcement actually comes, the corruption continue to declare on our territories, and they always plot. So sign up for your invasions, hold the line, and defend Eternum through Season 10. Good luck, have fun, or more.